Hi everyone, a very warm good morning and welcome back to your English class. Let's start today's class with one of Buddha's wisdom quotes. The secret of being happy is accepting where you are in life and making the most out of every day. That is, learn to acknowledge all of yourself, the good and the things that need improvement. And in order to make the most out of every day, you have to wake up early, eat right, exercise regularly, do one thing that you love, accomplish one big task, and finally take 10 minutes each evening to clear the clutter and refresh your home for the next day. Well, students, the lesson we are learning now is Lesson 10, The Sermon at Benares by Betty Renshaw from our English textbook, First Flight. In the previous class, we learned about the early life of Lord Buddha, who was originally born as a prince in a great royal family. On being exposed to the sufferings of the world, which he was shielded from, he left his princehood and went to seek enlightenment. He at last attained enlightenment while meditating under a peepal tree. After enlightenment came to him, he delivered his first sermon at Benares, close to the bank of the Ganges. The Buddha gave this sermon to Kisa Goswami to console her because her son had died. Let's now continue with the rest of the lesson. Kisa Goswami had an only son and he died. So what does the sentence tell you? The sentence tells that Kisa Goswami's son died. What happened to Kisa Goswami's son? Her son died. What is the name of the lady here? Kisa Goswami. The mother is Kisa Goswami and her son died. When people die in your family, you become sad. Or when people die in our family, we become sad. We are grief stricken. Our heart will be full of sorrow. Same thing happened to Kisa Goswami also. Kisa Goswami, she had an only son. She had only one son and that son died. In her grief, she carried the dead child to all her neighbors, asking them for medicine. And the people said, "She has lost her senses. The boy is dead." In her grief, in her sorrow, she was extremely sad. She was extremely grief-stricken. Her heart was full of sorrow. So, in her great sorrow, what did she do? She carried the dead child to all her neighbors. She took her dead child in her arms and she went from house to house. She went to her neighbors. What for? Asking them for medicine. She asked medicine from them. What for? She thought that if proper medicine is given to the child, her child would recover. She was not ready to accept the fact that her son was already dead. So she carried her child to all her neighbors and asked for medicine. And the people said to one another, what did they say? She has lost her senses. The boy is already dead. The people knew that the boy was dead. So they said to one another that she had lost her senses. She was not in her right spirits. She was insane. She had become insane. That is what people thought. At length, Kisa Goswami met a man who replied to her request. So she requested everyone to give her medicine to cure her child, but no one responded to her. At last, one man replied to her request. She requested everyone. No one responded to her, but one man replied. At length meaning at last. At length. You please underline in the textbook and write at length meaning at last. Finally, Kisa Goswami. Kisa Goswami, who did she meet? She met a man. And that man was different from other people. So he replied to her request. Let us see what reply he gave. I cannot give thee medicines for thy child, but I know a physician who can. So what reply did he give her? I cannot give thee medicine. I cannot give thee medicines for thy child. So listen, please children, please note the use of the words thee and thy. THW thee. It is Old English for you. Thee means you. I cannot give thee. I cannot give you. I can't give you. I can't give you medicines for thy child. Thy is again Old English for your. Okay. So I cannot give you medicines for your child. Thee means you and thy means your. I cannot give you any medicines for your child, but I know a physician who can. But he promised that he will tell her about a physician, doctor who can give her child medicines. So I myself cannot give you any medicines, but I know I can suggest you the name of a physician. I can suggest you the name of a doctor who can give medicines to your child. Kisa Godami was very happy. Let us see what did she do next. And the girl said, "Pray, tell me, sir, who is it?" And the man replied, "Go to Sakyamuni, the Buddha." So the girl was very happy. She immediately asked, "Please tell me, who is it? Who is the doctor? Who is the physician?" And the man replied, "Go to Sakyamuni, the Buddha." So who was the doctor suggested by the man? The Buddha. The Buddha was called Sakyamuni because he was a sage from the Sakya clan. Okay. Lord Buddha was usually referred to as Shakyamuni because he was a sage from the Shakya clan. Okay. He was a sage from the Sakya clan. So he was usually referred to as Sakyamuni. So the man suggested her to go to Sakyamuni, the Lord Buddha. Kisa Godami repaired to the Buddha and cried, "Lord and Master, give me the medicine that will cure my boy." So what did Kisa Godami do? Repaired to the Buddha. Repaired. Repaired is used stylistically meaning went. Okay. Kisa Godami repaired to the Buddha meaning Kisa Godami went to the Buddha. Kisa Godami immediately left for seeing Buddha with her child. She went to the Buddha. Kisa Godami went to the Buddha, went to meet Buddha, and she cried, she requested, "Lord and Master, give me the medicine that will cure my boy." What did she request him? She requested Lord Buddha to give her the medicine that could cure her child. She was not willing to accept the fact that her son was already dead. So she requested Lord Buddha to give her medicine to cure her child. The Buddha answered, "I want a handful of mustard seed." Very simple. Obtaining mustard seed is not a difficult task, isn't it? So the Buddha answered, "I want a handful of mustard seed." So what did Buddha ask her to get him? A handful of mustard seed. And when the girl in her joy promised to procure it, the girl was very happy. "That's all, mustard seed. Very simple. I can get from anywhere." She was very happy. So very happily she promised that she would procure it. That is, she would obtain it. Procure meaning get, obtain. Okay. And when the girl in her joy promised to procure it, she was very happy. So happily she promised to procure it, obtain it. Obtain the mustard seed. Get the mustard seed. She was very happy. But Buddha added, that was not complete. His requirement was not complete. He set a condition. The Buddha added. Then the Buddha added. Let us see what did he add. The mustard seed must be taken from a house where no one has lost a child, husband, parent or friend. So what was his condition? There was a condition to bring the mustard seed, to obtain the mustard seed. She should get mustard seed from such a house. What kind of house? Where no one has died so far. Okay. That is, in a family where no husband was dead or no father was dead, no child was dead. Okay. So from such a house she should get mustard seeds. She has to get mustard seed from such a house where no one has lost a child, father, friend or husband. Poor Kisa Godami now went from house to house, and the people pitied her and said, "Here is mustard seed, take it." So what did Kisa Godami do? Poor girl, what did she do? She went from house to house requesting for mustard seed. She went from house to house and she asked for mustard seed. The people pitied her. People felt pity for her. People took pity on her. See, listen, if you are using took pity on or felt pity for, feel pity for someone, take pity on someone or something. Okay, take pity on someone or something. Feel pity for someone or something. People pitied her. People felt pity for her. People took pity on her and they said, "Here is mustard seed, take it." They offered her mustard seed. Did she take the mustard seed? Okay, let's continue reading. But when she asked, "Did a son or daughter, a father or mother die in your family? Did a son die in your family?" Some people said, "Yes, we lost our son." Did a father die in your family? Some people they said father died in the family. So she asked the question to the family members, "Did a son, daughter, father or mother die in your family?" They answered her, "Alas, the living are few, but the dead are many." That is, more people are dead in our family than the number of people living now. Okay, so all families she visited, one or the other already had died in that family. Do not remind us of our deepest grief. So please don't remind us about the death of our family members. So if you don't, please don't remind me about my grandfather, great grandmother who died recently. I will be grief stricken or it will make me sad. So please don't remind us about. So what is our deepest grief? Death of family members, death of our near ones. So in our family, people had already died and there was no house, but some beloved one had died in it. Could she find such a house? She could not find such a house. There was not a house. There was not a house, but some beloved one had died in it. In all the houses she visited, one or the other people, father, mother, daughter, son, grandfather, someone had died in that family. There was no house with no one died in it. Okay, so with this, up to here only we will learn today. The rest of the lesson we will learn in the next class. But before I conclude, I want you to listen to the pronunciation of certain words that you mispronounced. In the audio clip you sent to me, I heard your pronunciation. So some of the words most of the students mispronounced. So I am pronouncing those words for you to listen to once more. Okay, so listen to the words and you correct your pronunciation. Scriptures. First word is scriptures. Scriptures. And the second word, heretofore. Heretofore. Okay, heretofore. And the third word, shielded. Third word is shielded. Next, sufferings. Sufferings. Next one, chanced upon. Chanced upon. Chanced upon. Okay, listen carefully. Chanced upon. And the next word is funeral procession. The next word, listen carefully. Funeral procession. Next word, sermon. Sermon. Next, last word is inscrutable. Inscrutable. So practice reading these words correctly, that is using the correct pronunciation. Practice pronouncing these words. And also in the lesson we learned today also, if difficult words are there, you try to find the meaning. Again, you on your own read and understand the text. The task today is to practice loud reading the text we learned today 2 times. Take care to pronounce all words correctly. When you learn to read properly, record your reading and send in the group. Thank you.